We could talk about how Olivia Newton-John died, because we've reviewed Grease before, and we said that we didn't like it. Therefore, I guess it doesn't matter that she's dead.
Is that the conclusion that we're coming to in our cold open?
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing to kind of say. Like, basically, if someone's not been in, or if somebody's most famous film wasn't a good film, then they don't deserve any...
And crucially, people think it's a good film, but it's definitely not a good film.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. At that point, if anything, kind of by not caring about her dying, we're kind of balancing the scales.
I agree, yeah, somewhat. Although I don't know if we should talk about it necessarily, because it could be construed as offensive, and we wouldn't want to be that.
That's a good point.
But yeah, just say Olivia Newton-John died. How sad. Oh, that's all that we'll do for the.
Oh yeah, okay, I like that. That's very kind of respectful. All right, yeah, that would be good. That's kind of tasteful. Luke, Olivia Newton-John died at the age of 73. How sad.
Oh no, she was great in Grease.
Rest in power. Hello and welcome to Select and Reflect, the movie review podcast where we look at films that have come out in the near and distant past. We give them a couple of watches and evaluate them beyond first impressions. I'm your host Michael, and I'm joined as always by my co-host Luke, and this week we are halfway through our series of 5 films, all from 2002, where I basically just get to repeat that we're celebrating the 20th anniversary, and in this case we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of James Bond, Die Another Day.
Who could forget one of the greatest movies to come out from 2002, which is Die Another Day. We're halfway through our 2002 20th anniversary extravaganza, so let's get going with Die Another Day. It is a 2002 spy film, and what film in the James Bond series, Michael?
I don't know actually. I'm just trying to think how many, 20... Oh, sorry, no, maybe
You said 20. Well done. You got it right. You nailed it. Well
done. Yeah,
done.
That's what I thought it would be.
Yeah, and that's why you said it, right?
Well, see, the thing is, at first I was thinking 20 something, and then I actually did genuinely think to myself, oh, actually, I think it is just number 20.
You can work back because, of course, No Time to Die. What was that?
No Time to Die. That was 25th or something.
You are correct. Yeah. 25 or 20?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's just
Yes, no, you are correct. So you can work back. Yeah, so this is the 20th. I'm feeling
25
film in the James Bond series produced by Eon Productions. It was also produced by Michael Wilson and Barbara Broccoli.
Bad name.
How have I never seen this name before? Barbara Broccoli. Well,
that's
you know
ridiculous.
What? Anyway, so the movie was directed by Lee Tamahori, interestingly. And where does Lee Tamahori hail from?
Maybe Korea?
New Zealand, you racist.
Okay. I just thought, maybe, I stand by my decision to be racist.
Okay, the movie was written by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade.
Okay.
And it's based on James Bond by Ian Fleming. I don't know if you know that, but now you do.
Yeah.
Very, very esoteric piece of knowledge there.
That is useful information.
Yes. Anyway, so the movie stars Pierce Brosnan, Halle Berry, Toby Stephens, Rosamund Pike, Rick Yoon, John Cleese, and Judi Dench. The movie was released on the 20th of November 2002 in the United Kingdom. We're a bit off its 20-year anniversary, but again, we're doing the 2002 movies this August. So, Michael, Die Another Day. Can you tell me what this grossed? Not yet. What the budget was?
Yeah, sorry. Well, I'm going to start by saying over 100 million, or let's say at least 100 million. Because I just feel that. Because obviously, I think the James Bond films, my memory is that they've all cost basically at least that much, I guess, unless you go right back to the past when money wasn't worth anything. But yeah, so considering how recent this is, it's post 2000, I think it would have spent at least 100 million on James Bond film. I guess maybe just to spice it up, I'll go a little bit over 100 million and say 110 million.
Oh, you know what? I'm glad you went over 100 because it's 142.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I was feeling 142.
Well, you weren't, were you?
I wasn't. You're right.
No. Yeah. But the thing is, that is really expensive, actually. For a movie that comes out in 2002, 142 million is very expensive.
Okay, so how much? Do you remember how much the the GoldenEye was? Because I was kind of assuming that would have been around 100 too.
So I'm looking at GoldenEye now. That was 60.
Okay, yeah. So okay. Well, I guess I was kind of wrong in my assumption in a way that they would have spent.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Somehow, when you get kind of close, you're still kind of wrong as well in a big way. But yeah, that's the thing. You go from only 7 years earlier, GoldenEye, $60 million, this $142 million. That's a big jump. More than twice at that, of course. But yeah, maybe inflation was peaking at this time. I can't imagine what that was like.
Yeah, that must have been tough.
Crazy. Anyway, Michael, that is the budget. But now, can you tell me what the box office was for Die Another Day?
Well, I think right in saying this film was considered a disappointment, and inspired a rethinking, as we've kind of already been through, a rethinking, when of course we lost Austin Powers, of the Bond franchise. Now, having said that, disappointment could mean a variety of things. Obviously, for example, it could have just made its money back, including marketing, or it could have not even quite made its money back, including marketing. I'm going to go for 200 million, because that's like a little bit more than the whole budget, but they probably will have still lost a bit on marketing.
That's the ironic thing.
It made loads of money.
It was the highest grossing James Bond movie ever.
Wow, that's really interesting.
And they chose to reboot. Now, of course, inflation's higher, as we have discussed, but of course, yeah, it's still surprising to look at. I was surprised by this. I was surprised by the amount of money, it cost to make, and the amount of money it raked in at the box office. The total is $431 million. Dollars, of course. And what was your guess?
200. So I think I was under.
So yeah, some facts about Die Another Day. It was the 40th anniversary of the James Bond franchise.
Oh.
Don't know if you
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and it includes references to each of the preceding films. So yeah, that's interesting.
That's quite a lot of references.
Yeah, it's the 40th anniversary and it's the 20th movie. So yeah, a big movie.
Yeah.
And how I think they went down a classic path in terms of a James Bond style movie, when that's not really what was going to make a good movie, even though, of course, it made a lot of money at the box office. So anyway, Michael, tell me, did you like Die Another Day?
Well, I didn't hate Die Another Day. I think in many ways, it kind of felt... Because, obviously I was thinking going into this that I knew that this film obviously did, as we already said, contribute to them, rethinking the franchise and things like that. But I was kind of watching, I was like, you know what? It's obviously dumb in a lot of the same ways that you could say plenty of other James Bond films are dumb. You might say it's slightly dumber, but having said that, I do think it has a fair bit of entertainment value to it, and it's at least comprehensible. So there we go. I mean, those are my positives I'm throwing out there. Overall, though, I mean, it wasn't a great movie. I would just say that, yeah, I found it surprisingly, I guess, entertaining. But yeah, I would probably say on balance, I'm either thinking average to maybe a little bit better than average, but probably average. Yeah, I didn't dislike it though, believe it or not.
Yeah, I think it is again, it's just a very frustrating movie. That's what I get from watching this, because every beat that they hit is very predictable. And that's the case with, you could say a lot of classic Bond movies, but, they're classic because they established James Bond. And that, again, that they want to do, they want to pay homage, of course, to those classic James Bond movies. So that's why I guess they have, these plot beats, and they have very predictable plot. But yeah, I can see, after watching this, why the decision to basically cancel this path of James Bond movies. Pierce Brosnan, this was his final movie. I don't know actually if before this movie everyone was like, oh yeah, this is your final movie, we're going to move on afterwards, or he decided that. But yeah, certainly I can see why they did that, and I just have to imagine the marketing campaign around this movie must have been insane. I think that's how it probably got drummed up so much money at the box office, because you have Halle Berry in there. I think you have references to all the other Bond movies. Die Another Day is a very Bond-esque title, isn't it?
No, yeah, I do think that. It does feel like kind of an instant classic, just in terms of the name. If someone told you you're going to watch Die Another Day, you'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds like it's going to be great.
Yeah, you add die in a James Bond movie, and it just works.
No Time to Die.
It just works every time. But yeah, I think Die Another Day overall, it's as a Bond movie, again, it's predictable, and this movie shows why the franchise needed to make the changes. And yeah, basically it was I think obviously it grossed a lot of money at the box office, but I just feel like it was an unnecessary movie. This just is a movie which just didn't need to happen, just didn't need to exist. And of course, I imagine the anniversary played into that, why this movie was created. But yeah, they should have moved on by now. They shouldn't have done this movie in 2002.
Yeah,
as we'll get into, because there was another agent with the initials JB who was, who's having movies
Justin
released.
Bowers.
Justin Bowers, yeah, around this time. Jason Bourne, you mentioned Austin Powers, and yeah, there are some Austin Powers-esque moments. But yeah, Jason Bourne is certainly something that I was thinking of when watching this movie. Like, wow, this is so far away from Jason Bourne. But yeah, Michael, let us get into the nitpicks. How many do you have?
I only have one kind of nitpick.
I'll go first then, I guess. MI6 didn't do a background check or background research into one of their agents, Miranda Frost, played by Rosamund Pike, being on the same fencing team as the evil North Korean guy at Harvard.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that is a good point, yeah.
Yeah, like, they didn't realise that. These guys, they love their background checks. That's the favourite thing to do. And just, oh no, we didn't catch that one.
Yeah, and then they even like mention it, like, oh, it's only because we didn't know, which is, yeah. So mine is like actually a question, but I mean, I guess it counts as a nitpick. It's just, I didn't really quite understand why it would be the case that as soon as, what's his face, Graves, I guess, obviously he's originally called something Moon, why...
Be as racist as you like,
Thank
Michael.
you. Oh yeah, why is he Asian? Why is it that when he dies, the sun laser thing turns off? It just seems like it's kind of... It really felt like he was just doing it to kind of save the plot time.
Doesn't the plane blow up?
Well, no, I thought, what seemed to turn the laser off, as far as I could tell, was him going through the jet, like the jet engine.
Was he controlling the laser?
Yeah, which I guess, but yeah, it just seems weird to me because it's like, obviously, you would think that he would just have like it would just make slightly more sense to me if there would have just been a scene of like James Bond being like, okay, now that he's dead, I'll go and walk over to the control panel and turn off the laser, because it just seemed weird that he seemed to simultaneously kill the guy and then the laser turned off.
I think the laser needs to die with him, otherwise it's like, oh, there's this massive giant laser in the sky.
Yeah.
And, well, that's still there. Do you really... Yeah,
I just wanted a scene of him walking over to a control panel and turning it off.
That exciting scene, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, those are the nitpicks. So let's get into Die Another Day, the actual movie. So this is from this great website I use. Bond takes on a North Korean leader who undergoes DNA replacement procedures that allow him to assume different identities. He only assumes one other identity, really. So
yeah, that's true.
Really
yeah,
true, is it? Yeah. American agent Jinx Johnson assists Bond in his attempt to thwart the villain's plans to exploit a satellite that is powered by solar energy. And obviously the overall plot, Michael, I think we said it, it's just very standard James Bond stuff.
Yes.
Just a very unoriginal plot. Like Bond girls, you've got them, and you've got your dumb cliches as well. It literally... I was thinking while I was watching it, it's literally like the movie wrote itself. Like if you that whole joke about I gave a fucking computer I made it watch
like the kind of AI generated scripts and things like that. Yeah.
I made a computer watch 19 James Bond movies and it came out with its own James Bond movie based on that.
Yeah.
And it is like it wrote itself. It is so predictable and it hits all the beats of a James Bond movie, and also it's dumb as well. That is the case. And like we said before, they definitely went for a classic version of James Bond, and this was the wrong time to do it in retrospect. Even though it made a bunch of money at the box office. But yeah, I just feel like this movie, it's called Die Another Day. It should have died that day. It should have died. No,
should have died yesterday.
It should have died yesterday.
Yes.
It should have died before it was even created. But again, I say this. I keep coming back to the box office. It's like, oh yeah, but it made 400 and what is it, 30 million at the box office. So I mean, clearly, look, they made the right decision, the right financial decision. But of course, Michael, when we're talking about art, and James Bond is of course art.
Yes.
We
aspire to something a bit more than finances.
Exactly. We are critiquing the art, and the art is not good. It is, again, just so played out, so predictable, and really, really bad in some instances, and just overall below average for what would be an exciting modern spy thriller, as we could see from the Jason Bourne movies that were coming out around the same time. But and of course, they changed afterwards, so they clearly thought the same way at least. So anything to say on that?
No, yeah, I mean, I would agree. Like, in hindsight, this film feels very dated, because you think about it, it's only... Wait, did Casino Royale come out in 2005? 2006, okay, so it was 4 years, I guess, behind the before those. But yeah, it feels like an eternity ago. Like, Casino Royale feels like that could have come out last year. This feels like it had to have come out in like the 90s, basically. And, I guess like early 2000 kind of makes sense. But yeah, like being of its time, even then, isn't necessarily that great. And yeah, arguably it's considerably before its time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think, it does feel like, this was one too many. Like, you should have moved on to something like Casino Royale by this point. And we'll get, actually, a lot of people had criticisms about the fact that there was too much CGI, which, it had too many big explosions, and I'm looking back on this having watched action movies, since it's part of 20 years now, and like, oh no, that's just not that weird, to have that many explosions in action movies. But I guess at the time, James Bond, that wasn't really the case. But yeah, so anyway, Michael, that was I guess a modern thing they put into this movie. Let's get into the old script now, Michael. So MI6 agent James Bond infiltrates a North Korean military base where Colonel Tan Sun Moon. Do you like that?
Yes, I think it's a good name.
Sun and Moon in the same name. So clearly, he is creating a second sun. But, he's also mooning the Earth at the same time.
Yes. No, yeah, that's very, it works very well.
Yeah. It's trading weapons for African conflict diamonds. I like that term. Not blood diamonds. African conflict diamonds. That feels like a very NGO term.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. After Moon's right-hand man, Zhao, is contacted by an unknown source who reveals Bond's identity. Moon attempts to kill Bond and a hovercraft chase ensues. Of course it does, naturally. Ending with Moon's craft tumbling over a waterfall. Bond is captured by North Korean soldiers and imprisoned by the Colonel's father, General Moon. So he's only a colonel, his dad's a general. I actually think this is a really solid start.
I agree.
I was expecting, Bond to grab one of the flashy cars, that are there. Because, it's set up like, these are my cars that I have collected while in the West, the decadent West, which I hate. I have got these cars, which I really like from there. And he doesn't. Instead, he gets on a fucking hovercraft. And, the hovercraft race, it was good. I enjoyed it, I think this is a really solid start, like I said. I hope you agree.
No, yeah. I think, and also it was it was a good way, I think, to set up that villain. I was kind of actually, when the, son, Mr. Moon, or Master Moon, dies, I was kind of thinking, I kind of liked him as a villain. So I'm glad he was brought back. I was hyped for him to come back when I found out he was back. So yeah, I think they set up that villain kind of well. I think you were like, oh yeah, okay, these are some kind of good antagonists, and yeah, the action scene was good. And it was it was cool how exciting it was. Just so much loudness, explosions, guns, classic.
Yeah, no, I agree. And yeah, I think it was interesting. Well, you say he's back. I mean, it's a completely different person.
Yeah, it's true. It's
not got the same personality at all either.
Yeah, that is kind of, actually, I suppose that is disappointing.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, he does come back technically, but not really. And we'll get into that later. But yeah, after winning the battle with this guy Bond, he just gets captured so easily, doesn't he? It's okay, well, what was the point in that then?
Yeah, I did find that kind of funny. It was basically, kind of pointless.
Yeah, and of course then we get the song, Michael, the song, which is of course Die Another Day.
Yes.
Which I shall play a bit now. Tell me.
Yeah.
You don't sound enthusiastic.
I was so confused when the song started playing. I was like, what the hell is this?
You know who it's by?
Yeah, I do know who it's by now because I actually looked it up. And it's by Madonna.
Because you were so disgusted.
I wanted to see what the comments would be on the YouTube video. There were people going what the hell is this? It doesn't sound like a James Bond film at all. But no, it was full of normies saying it was good.
Another day. Yeah, when you hear this music, you just think of James Bond, right?
Oh, absolutely. Day, I'm gonna die. Another day.
Did you hear that?
Yeah,
she said, Sigmund Freud analysed this.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so this, I don't think this is a good Bond song, I have to say. But it is, again, we're talking about 2002 movies. This is the summer of 2002 movies on this channel. This feels very 2002-esque.
Yeah, that's the thing. In a way, kind of like, I sort of respect what they were trying to do, because you think about how now, like the kind of, weirdly in a way, with the modern Bond's songs, it's the only way they haven't modernized, because they're basically doing the exact same thing that they were doing in the past with the modern Bond songs, where it's basically just kind of, I don't really know what the kind of word for it is, but obviously like Adele, Sam Smith, none of this weird robot stuff.
Yeah, it's electronic music almost.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And by the way, in the music video, she's fencing against herself.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. And it's like a fucking Star Wars thing. Like, she's dressed in white, and the evil version of her is dressed in black.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah. Another day. Right, that's enough of that. So yeah, Die Another Day. Again, very 2002, but not the best James Bond song, I have to say. Yes. But it feels of its era with that. Definitely the case, yeah.
It's kind of charming how it dates it.
Yeah, exactly. That's like, that feels a bit charming. It does, really. But yeah, anyway, Bond, of course, has been captured. And I was wondering, of course, he's released... Oh, do you like a fucking Zhao? He's got the diamonds pierced into his, like, face.
Yeah.
When you could imagine it would be quite easy to take them out,
Yes.
Like, but no, maybe he likes it. Maybe that's the style he goes for.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, like, the thing about Zhao is that he looked like a pretty handsome Asian dude. Like, when I saw him first, I thought, now that's a handsome Asian dude. And
you don't get many of them.
Yeah, exactly. And then they like totally like ruined his face. Like, because I was thinking, like, also he was like noticeably tall, like you could see like next to him, and obviously the thing that everyone likes to attack Asian guys for is like not being tall,
small penises.
Yeah. So you have like this tall, kind of handsome, buff-looking Zhao
with
guy
a big cock,
and the white man just couldn't let it be. They had to be like, no, okay, we've got to make him bold and like have facial injuries.
Yeah, because then the Asian guys, if you can't have them handsome, you got to make them creepy.
Yeah,
that's how it's got to go down. But yeah, I do you know what movie he was in a year prior to this? Of course,
was it Fast and Furious?
It was Fast and Furious.
Yes.
Yeah, not Tokyo Drift though. Not that. That's
no.
Whole different thing. He's Chinese in Fast and Furious, and he's Korean then. So they're so far away from Tokyo Drift, so far. But yeah,
isn't he like Vietnamese actually in Tokyo Drift? Oh, sorry.
I thought he was Chinese.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, isn't he called like Lao or something? Oh, whatever. I don't know. I felt like he was.
Lao's Chinese.
Oh yeah. Okay. Maybe you're right. Let's assume
you're
hope. Right.
Yeah. Who cares? Anyway. So I was wondering, is there going to be any focus on the fact that Bond has spent 14 months in isolation? What that would do to him, like the mental torture of that.
Oh, no problem. I'll just shake it off.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There isn't a focus on that, and he says that he feels useless after M says he won't be going after the person who betrayed him. But I think newer Bond would look at or focus on the psychological toll that the isolation in the North Korean camp and the torture they put him on would take on him. Like, because it's 14 months, over a year. Obviously he would have been subject to very harsh conditions. But yeah, he doesn't need to overcome that. He's just like the usual Bond all over again.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, the difference between the modern movies, which focus much more on Bond as a character and explore him more, rather than just this guy who's like infallible, like the classic Bonds. Like Daniel Craig's Bond, I don't get the sense from him he's infallible.
Yes.
But you do with, like, especially the Bond in this movie. That's the case, and with classic Bond as well. It's like, oh yeah, I've just spent 14 months, locked away in a North Korean, prison. Oh yeah, I get out, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. No issues at all. And
I think also like it was interesting because like the way that like they show like during the music, like as bad as the music was, the like the way they show him being tortured and stuff like that, I was like, oh, this is actually pretty intense. And I was thinking to myself, like, I was always thinking this feels like reminiscent of modern Bond, because of course in modern Bond you have him kind of undergoing quite extreme torture and things like that, and it's like moments where it gets serious. But yeah, obviously they just don't lean into the seriousness here.
Yeah, immediately, oh, he's out, he's fine. Yeah, and again, that's the difference between this Bond and modern Bond. And yeah, the Scorpions torturing him, Michael. The Scorpions.
Yeah, like I thought the Scorpions were going to, because like Scorpions were like shown in kind of like the opening credits. I thought the Scorpions were going to be some kind of motif, but they just weren't.
Nothing to do with Scorpions throughout the rest of the movie. Yeah, and also there's this thing that Bond says to M about him being useless or whatever. Maybe M says it's a Bond, and I thought at the time, that's going to be his like character arc.
Yeah,
like he's still useful. And not really, because he gets out and immediately he's doing useful stuff, and then M like meets him in the middle of the movie and sees like, oh yeah, you were right, you are still useful, we need you. And it's like, oh, okay, so great. Again, there's no character arc for Bond really, you know. He is perfect. Like, there's no issues with him at all, like psychologically or needing a character arc. No, he's fine. And again, this is different to, I think, modern Bond, certainly, which delves into his psychology a bit more. And that's why those movies generally, I would say, are better, even though I don't think the James Bond fans maybe agree. But anyway, we'll get into that whenever we review, like, I don't know, Spectre. Actually, we probably won't because it's a boring movie, but you know. Anyway, so Bond, of course, is sedated and meets M and informs him that his status as a 00 agent has been suspended under suspicion of having leaked information under duress to the North Koreans. Bond is convinced that he's been set up by a double agent in the British government. So this double agent put him in prison and made it seem like he'd leaked info of the top American spy in the North Korean government, who was then killed to get Zhao out of prison, or out of whatever, you know, facility that the UK or the United States had, because they somehow captured him, basically. Yes. Okay, and I think that right there, that's fine. I like that as a setup. I think that works. It's just like what they choose to do with the setup, I don't really like. But that's the thing. I think that is a solid mystery to get the plot kicked off. Really, I don't know. Do you agree with that?
No, yeah, I agree. Like, that's the thing. I was into the you know, like all the stuff that was being revealed there, and I actually did like it. Because that's the thing. I was kind of thinking, oh, this is really. And then there's the whole thing about how, like, obviously, the Moon Jr. I'm just going to call him Moon Jr. because I can't bother to remember his first name. Moon Jr. obviously betrayed the Koreans. Tam's son.
No, Tan. Like, you get Tan
in the Sun. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Oh, that's the appropriate name. Yeah, sorry, yeah. So Tan's son, he. Like, obviously is betraying the North Koreans because, of course, he was selling their weapons for diamonds. Like, there's a lot going on, which is kind of cool. But, like, it's kind of a bit weird because it's, like, a lot going on, but it's, like, not confusing. And I think maybe I'm an idiot, but sometimes I actually think James Bond plots can get a bit confusing.
Yes. I think that is the case, and you need to, like, rewatch it or look at the plot on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah, that's the good thing. I don't think the plot is confusing in this one, but it is just kind of unoriginal. And predictable. So yeah, I think you can have both. You can have a plot which isn't confusing and a plot which is, like, original, but yeah, they didn't decide to go with that here. Anyway, so Bond escapes MI6 custody because, you know, he wants to find the double agent that set him up. You know, that's his goal. And yeah, he's obviously not going to be able to do that. But I just find it funny how easily he gets arrested.
Yeah.
How easy he escapes.
I was thinking that because obviously he just. Well, actually, I wanted to ask this because I wasn't sure. Like, obviously he, like, fakes flatlining, and you know, in the doctor thing, and I was kind of thinking to myself, like, I didn't nitpick it or anything like that because I feel like there must be probably some kind of hypothetical way that you could do it, like you could trick a flatline machine, trick an ECG into thinking you flatlined, but, like, they don't explain it. There's not like a moment where he says, I trained myself to blah blah blah.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with him not explaining. I'm fine with him doing that. But it's just, like, how easy it is. Yeah. Like, he just literally, you know, he does that thing to the two doctors.
And then he just walks out, basically.
No. But before he does that, he winks at the lady nurse who is like, oh, I'm really impressed with how you managed to get out of that. I would love to have sex with you, but of course, sadly you need to escape. Yeah, which is, you know, and that's the thing. He just walks out onto the deck of the ship and just dives into the water when he's gone. Like, no guards or whatever. Yeah, they could have done that better. But anyway, so he escapes and he finds himself in Hong Kong, where he learns from Chang, a Chinese agent and old colleague, that Zhao is in Cuba. Okay, so lucky he is in a place where he knows he can talk to a guy who is from Chinese intelligence.
That is very convenient.
Yes, who also runs a hotel, so it means Bond is able to get nice clothes and shave his hair. Again, very, very convenient, you know, very, like, again, just not making it hard for Bond at all.
Yeah, like, that did feel like a moment where it's kind of like, they were just like, okay, we've got to basically make everything go well for Bond.
Yeah, and that happens for quite a while, actually, in the movie.
Yeah.
So he's tracking Zhao, you know, in this portion of the movie. That's what he's doing. He's tracking Zhao. And, of course, he goes to Cuba and gets a guy to call in a favour. He gives him a nice car and a gun. And it's just, like, hitting the beats.
Yes.
Like, he's travelling around the world. He's meeting these people, you know, and they're quite wealthy and they're quite, you know, well-resourced. So he gets a gun and a car. And then, of course, he meets Halle Berry, who is called Jinx, which is an interesting name. They don't really do a lot with that. Again, the thing is, they say in the movie that, in the description of the movie that there's every single other Bond movie is referenced in this. So I don't know if that is a reference to to another Bond.
Yeah,
or whatever.
that seems like it'd be very possible. But yeah, I can't really think.
We are probably going to miss that because I haven't seen that many Bond
and even
movies.
the ones I have seen, I don't know if I'd be able to remember like subtle references from them.
Yeah. Pre Daniel Craig, I haven't really. Well, I say I haven't seen a lot. I've probably seen like half of them, but a lot of those were like from years ago.
Yeah.
We don't know about the references, but anyway. So Jinx, and again, a great Bond girl reveal, right?
Yes. The way she's moving her hips, man, like it's ridiculous.
Coming out of the water, they did that with Daniel Craig in the next Bond, didn't they?
Yes, exactly.
With him, yeah. But I do love how he has one conversation with her, and they are like immediately flirting together, and it's just like, of course we're doing that because this is a James Bond movie. Of course she accepts this drink from this strange man.
Yeah.
Again, she's a fucking secret agent as well.
Yeah.
She just accepts this drink from this strange man who's like very confident and charming, and it's like, okay, yeah, obviously, they got along. Are they gonna have sex? Yeah, that's all.
They kind of like that's the thing. They kind of like, it's crazy that they kind of, I guess, front load the banging. It's like there's immediately they're banging. Also, I wanted to say that I think you could say that the his decision to flirt with her with like reference to Predators feels like a bit weird and like kind of nowadays. And like it was just the whole thing felt like kind of clumsy. Just like the Predators come out, and it's like, okay, that's very very attractive, Mr. Bond, talking about the Predators.
Yeah, I mean, well, he is obviously, but that's the thing. She's into it, of course, and it's just like, okay, right, fine. This is just like.
Well, she did like being kissed by Adrian Brody.
Okay, this is just like James Bond like fanfic. It feels like this conversation, or it just feels like so played out. Like, of course, this conversation would happen, and of course, James Bond has sex with her literally like a minute later. Obviously, they do it at night or whatever, so it's not a minute, but yeah, you know what I mean. It just feels like very lazy Bond stuff. Again, what I said before, like hitting the beats, like the movie writes itself. And what a coincidence that she is also a secret agent as well, an American agent who works for the NSA.
Yes, the NSA.
Wow, that's just crazy, isn't it? Like the girl that he wants to bang. Wow, she's also after the same guy he is. Just these things again. They write themselves. They really do. Yeah. So again, it's just sad how predictable everything is in general. Again, if this was classic Bond, again you could forgive it because it's like, oh, this is what made this franchise popular. So of course, but like still doing it after 40 years, it just gets a bit tiresome. So Bond discovers that Zhao is getting a makeover that will turn him into a completely different person. And that is what this clinic in Cuba does. Apparently, I don't know why it has to be set in Cuba. Like, Halle Berry is of course there to kill the guy doing it, and of course an American agent assassinating a Cuban doctor. I feel like there's a guilty pleasure in that. For the NSA, so maybe that's why it's set in Cuba. But yeah, I don't know why it's set in Cuba. It's no need really. But yeah, let's talk about the facial reconstruction thing.
Yes.
Zhao is doing that. And he's being bankrolled by the Gustav guy. By the way, again, so lucky that he had those diamonds in his necklace, so Bond could track Gustav. They even have his markings to make it extra easy for Bond, don't they?
Yes, it says GG.
Yeah, just no imagination at all. And you think that would be pretty stupid to wear a necklace around, around you when obviously the diamonds can be easily tracked to fucking Gustav, whatever he's called.
Yeah, it is crazy that he writes his name on them. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. The writing the name I think is not as bad as the fact that why is he wearing them around his neck?
Yeah, it almost seems kind of gay. Am I allowed to? Is that going to offend the loony left if I say it's kind of gay to wear a necklace from the guy? Like, I bet they have a kind of interesting relationship.
No, yeah, I agree. It does seem kind of gay, actually. You know what? I agree with you, Michael. But the thing is, okay, do you want to talk about? Let's talk about the facial reconstruction thing first.
Yes.
It just seems very far fetched.
It's so weird. It's so ridiculous.
Wouldn't you say? Like, that's the thing. It's the exact kind of thing that Austin Powers would parody.
Yes.
Oh no, this character has got facial reconstruction, so he looks completely different to how he did before. Like, I can imagine.
Yeah, like if they had to change an actor or something.
Yeah. Just you have one character at the start who's evil and another character at the end who look like completely different. Of course, like that's it. Gustav Graves and fucking Tan Sun Moon. They look very different, obviously.
Yes.
But, it just feels like just so ridiculous that that guy, that Korean guy, is now this guy, and that's meant to be believable for the audience as well. And that this technology, which of course, like even in the year 2022, it's just farcical to think that could be possible. Exists in 2002. Again, it's just exactly the stuff Austin Powers would parody.
Yeah, it's also a bit weird. I wanted to say it's a bit weird that like they set it up. I think it's like something that's supposed to make you immortal, and they also set it up as something that's just really painful. It's like, okay, well, yeah, if it makes you immortal, I can imagine people would go through that pain. But
why does it make you immortal? Sorry,
I think it's because like they say like it's kind of genetic rejuvenation, as I think what they said. Like they were like, because they were like, oh, we take like kind of the old smelly DNA and replace it with new, better DNA from DNA donors from the orphans.
They have to keep doing that, I guess, throughout their life.
Yeah, but like, so I think like I understood that like the main purpose
of it. Why do you need to change your appearance then? Actually, to be fair, I understand why. This is what I was going to go on to. Why Tan Sun Moon wants to change his appearance to Graves, because he wants Icarus to look good, and it'll be easier to do that, of course, as a completely different person.
Yeah.
Who's like getting knighted by the queen or whatever. But yeah, I think that with Zhao, like, what is the point in him getting this surgery?
Yeah, I was thinking that, because the thing is, they literally explain that it's painful, and I was like, and like they explain it as if like it's kind of, and not just like a regular kind of pain. Like the implication is it's like really painful, and yeah, obviously, like they seem to be willing to do it for not really like any necessity.
Yes, yeah, I think that's the case. Certainly with Zhao, the necessity is there with Graves.
Yeah.
He needs to get this Icarus project approved, and it needs to look good. So yeah, obviously he needs to change appearance for that. Although he could have just hired someone else. I don't know, but yeah. The thing is, Zhao, he's just the right hand man to this guy.
Yeah,
like he's just he's the muscle, I guess. And he doesn't need to have his face everywhere. He doesn't need to be on magazines. He doesn't need to be getting knighted by the queen.
Yeah,
like. Why does he need to do that? So yeah, but it's just not necessary for him. Maybe it's to remove the diamonds from his skin.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
I bet there's some people who would go through surgery to get diamonds put in their skin.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so we get some good Austin Powers moments here, Michael, when Bond goes to meet this Gustav guy while he's fencing.
Yes.
So the lady who meets him says, "I see you handle your weapon well."
Yeah, there are so many.
Well. What does Bond reply?
He replies, I can keep my point up, or something like that, or I keep my weapon pointed up.
I am good at keeping my tip up.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. And it's like, yeah, there are so many, like, I was thinking to myself, like, I mean, they did this, I mean, I think, they've always done it, apart from, I guess, with, like, they stopped, obviously, with Daniel Craig, and it is ridiculous. I mean, it's kind of, in a way, I do appreciate it as just, like, a staple of the franchise, or I guess it used to be, but it is so ridiculous just how many kind of one line, and obviously it's like, I guess there's two kinds, there's the sexual kind, and then there's the ironic quip relating to how somebody just died, which there are also a whole load of those as well.
Yes, yeah. I know, it's funny. But anyway, so Gustav and Bond have a fencing match, as Graves, or what does the lady say? Oh, I am not interested in cockfighting.
Yes.
As another great double entendre. So this... Oh god, this fencing scene is just ridiculous. I kind of enjoyed it because of how stupid it was. So, like, Bond is also a world-class fencer. Like, he can just do it all. He is a true Gary Sue, isn't he, Michael?
Yes,
like,
he really is, yeah.
And it's funny, there's recently been conversation about the girl from Prey.
Yeah.
The main character from Prey, who apparently is a Mary Sue because she defeats the Predator.
Yes, even though men do that as well.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's not really about physicality. If you've seen the first Predator, of course, it's about being smart. So, yeah, it's...
Right, a woman being smart sounds like a Mary Sue to me.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the thing. With this, James Bond, certainly before Daniel Craig, he's just the ultimate, again, Gary Sue, he's the ultimate guy who could just do whatever he wants. Like, he is, apparently he's been to this, whatever it's called, Blades Club in London. I looked, and apparently it's been in a lot of James Bond novels, so he clearly fences. So I can believe that, of course, if this is like canon. But the thing is, he's just been in a North Korean prison for like 14 months.
I was kind of thinking that too, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and he is able to defeat this world-class fencer who apparently is going for Olympic gold. He can just do everything, can't he? But yeah, I love when it escalates into a full-blown sword fight.
Yes.
Which... I just find it funny, like, they're just trashing this place, like breaking everything. It is so over the top. I don't think the actual, like, oh, let's put these fencing masks down and let's use proper swords. I don't think that modern James Bond movies wouldn't have that. I can imagine Daniel Craig doing that. It's just like the over the top nature of it. It would be just confined to one room, and it would be an intense battle with like a lot of
like it really like it's kind of hilarious also when you realize like it's this massive battle for something which neither of the people is, at least on the surface, taking very seriously.
It's
like,
just a bet.
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I can imagine, Daniel Craig's Bond challenging himself against, Gustav Graves in a modern Bond movie, just with swords, and whoever cuts the torso first wins. I can imagine that, but it just wouldn't be so over the top. Again, there'd be a lot of tension, a lot of, a few seconds in between each like little battle that they have to really, up the tension of the scene, and it wouldn't just be like them going around the fucking club smashing everything and cutting paintings and like breaking priceless artifacts, and fucking Gustav ending up in a fucking fountain. It's so over the top. Again, kind of I don't know, it feels kind of Austin Powers-esque as well. Maybe it's just because how ridiculous it is. But yeah, again, there's this thing, I'm criticizing the scene, but I kind of enjoyed it because of how over the top it was. But Bond of course learns that Graves only quote unquote appeared a year prior, apparently discovering a vein of diamonds in Iceland, leading to his current wealth and celebrity. Okay, right. Has there ever been diamonds discovered in Iceland?
Yeah, I don't imagine so.
That seems... That, red flag number one there to the world press and these...
Yeah, like, it is kind of funny that apparently, like, like, you can just show up with a bunch of diamonds and just be like, yeah, I found these diamonds, and everyone would just believe you. Yeah,
and of course, there are... they are similar to the blood diamonds in Africa. And his thing, obviously, Suntan Moon knows who Bond is, but Bond doesn't know that he knows who he is. And Bond just tells, Graves that, he is a fraud and he's laundering these diamonds. And also reveals he knows about Graves doing stuff in Cuba.
Yeah, like it's really overplaying your hand.
Yeah, like, why reveal that? I mean, it doesn't matter, because Graves is a fucking idiot in this movie, or Suntan Moon or whoever. They're fucking stupid, but I don't know, Bond just tells him, oh yeah, I know you're a fraud and you're making all this stuff up. Of course it doesn't matter, because he knows who he is anyway.
Yeah, but obviously Bond doesn't know that he knows, so from his perspective, Bond is just giving up everything he knows to this guy.
Yes, exactly. But anyway, so M wants to meet with Bond, and she kind of concedes, oh, I was wrong, you are useful. Yeah, there is some stuff on Graves, but I don't know, obviously she has another agent on Graves, but I don't know, she never says why she has an agent on Graves, or she thinks Graves isn't trustworthy either. Again, that's just poor writing, you gotta, just tidy that up a bit. But anyway, so M then restores Bond's 00 status, and Q issues him with an Aston Martin V12 Vanquish with active camouflage.
Yes.
So Q is being played by John Cleese, which I think kind of works. It's the only time he played Q. But yeah, I don't know. It's a classic British, franchise with it. Of course, a very famous British actor. So, yeah, I think it works. But anyway, let's talk about The Vanishing Carmichael, because I remember talking to Scott and Alex about this. Debating, because Alex was saying, I think he said that predictably, Die Another Day was the best Bond movie.
That's good.
Such an Alex take, but Scott. So we were discussing it, and I said, Scott was like, he didn't know which side to take because he hadn't seen it, and I said, there's a fucking invisible car in that one, and that won Scott over. Scott was like, there's an invisible car? You're joking. And I was like, yeah, there's an invisible car. And Alex, he didn't have a reply.
He didn't have a reply to the fact there was an invisible car. Yeah, I mean, like, the thing is, like, obviously, they do offer up a kind of science explanation, which is, I guess, like, that there are tiny cameras and also kind of tiny, I guess, like, monitors, like, kind of projecty things, and obviously, like he says, it projects the image that the other side sees out of, so he kind of, like, explains it. But yeah, it is pretty insane. And I mean, overall, like, I guess I would say that I personally had never really thought of it as something like so ridiculous as to be like just completely like I don't know, like massively affecting my opinion of the film. But it is ridiculous.
It just shows again how ridiculous this movie is, and how it's past its sell-by date, like with the invisible cars.
Yeah, like that does feel like very 60s.
Yeah, again, it's just so different to like the Jason Bourne stuff. It's a million like you can imagine Jason Bourne like invisible cars. Just so different. And yeah, again, it's so different even to the Daniel Craig stuff. It just doesn't feel like a serious movie when you've got like an invisible car. And even Roger Moore agreed, who had played Bond in earlier films. He said, "I just thought it went too far." He's talking about the movie. And that's from me. The first Bond in space. So, yeah, he went into space, but no, this movie was too far. So, anything more to say on that, by the way?
No, I mean, I did want to say, and this is jumping ahead, but I think it's relating to the car anyway, so I think it's fine, that it is ridiculous how durable the car is during the final kind of car chase scene. I mean, I know we're going to talk about it later, probably, that scene, but I just wanted to say regarding the car, like, literally, they're driving, like, smashing it through everything, and then it looks literally basically pristine. I'm like, wow, what are they making this out of?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the next movie did a lot of damage to Aston Martin.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's why, again, why it's
that's why it's a better movie. Yeah,
that's it. So it's revealed that Rosamund Pike, who is playing Graves' assistant Miranda Frost, is an undercover MI6 agent. Okay, so here's the thing, Michael. She says that she's having a meeting with M, this Miranda Frost.
Yes,
and she says she's found nothing on Graves at all after working with him for 3 months. 3 months.
Yes.
She's found nothing on Graves at all. And now we know Bond thinks someone inside the British government, or even it could be MI6, is setting him up and trying to help Zhao. So it would be really dumb if the movie just kind of revealed that, oh yeah, it's Miranda Frost who is, who is of course the double agent and is actually working for Zhao.
Yes.
Yeah, or working for, Sun, what is he, Tan Sun Moon or whatever. But yeah, and knows that Graves is bad and, and they're in on it together. It'd be really dumb if the movie just sets that up, or revealed that just with that one line in the movie. But does the movie do that, Michael?
They do.
They do.
Yes. So yeah, the thing is, like, a lot of the time when there's like a twist in the film, I feel like you'll ask me if I saw it coming because you did see it coming and you want me to confirm that I also saw it coming. And a lot of the time I have to disappoint you by being like, actually, I wasn't really kind of thinking about it and I just didn't really, I didn't see it coming. This time, it was so easy to see it coming. Like, it was insane.
Yes. Yeah, no, I mean, there's just no reason for that line because immediately, like, oh, so she's come up with nothing on Graves.
Yes.
And she literally says, that's because he's clean. When obviously we know she's lying and he's not clean. Yeah. Unless she's just very bad at her job. That is a possibility too. But obviously you'd imagine, hey, she's competent, so therefore there's only one conclusion your brain can come to, which is, oh, she's working with Graves. She therefore is probably the double agent that sets up Bond.
Because they literally, like, the agent setting up thing is just there and we're aware of it, so there's no way.
That's the main mystery which kicks things off,
It's so weird, because it's like, it almost feels like they should have had like a different mystery and kind of just had like the twist reveal be that Bond was set up.
Yeah, maybe that should be the case.
Yeah, because knowing that Bond was set up, you have to think, well, who would have set him up? It's obviously going to be someone who's revealed.
Yeah, but if you go down this path, you just don't give it away like that.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking when when she was sitting down with them, I was like, oh, maybe she's the double agent. I don't know, and because you're thinking, oh, there must be a double agent, and of course there must be someone in the movie that we know, of course, and so it could be her. She's a good candidate for it, and then she definitely is. And I was like, it's such an obvious, like, you're also obviously giving it away that there has to be like another twist, like, okay,
it feels like almost like she's the red herring.
Yeah, she's the red herring, but no, she's not. She's literally, again, it's just so lazy and so predictable. Yeah, I can't believe the movie gave it away like that. I really can't. Yeah, you didn't need to have that line of dialogue in that with her saying, Graves is clean. It's so dumb. And well, here's the thing. I say that's dumb. What's dumber, Michael? That line in the movie, or the fact that Bond is invited by Graves to Iceland for this scientific demonstration of with him showing the world Icarus. Why does Graves do this, Michael? Why does he invite James Bond? He knows who James Bond is, and he knows that Bond knows about the blood diamonds. He's onto him about that, and obviously, tell me, why would you? It seems like I would say it would be like a classic stupid Bond movie to have the villain invite James Bond to his lair, so Bond can stop the villain's evil plan. But it seems even too stupid for classic Bond. Like, I can't imagine why Graves invites him. Like, why?
Like, it does he even have like, I'm just trying to remember like how it breaks down. Does he even have like a plan to kill Bond while he's there? Because it seems like, my memory is that Bond just kind of like breaks in, and that's basically how, and then obviously when they find him, they decide to kill him, but it kind of just seems like they're perfectly content to just have Bond be hanging out there. So it's not even like there's some kind of plan to like lure him there so that he can be, so it just seems like it's literally just to flex, I guess.
They just, so he reveals the Icarus project, and then everyone goes to another room or whatever, and then Bond like goes off investigating. There's just no plan to like kill him. Like Graves just gives him like a free pass. Oh yeah, come to my evil lair, hang around, do what you like. Yeah, sure. We won't keep tabs on you or anything, or we won't kill you either. We certainly don't have a plan to kill you. Yeah, they just let him do what he likes. It's so dumb. And again, they have to somehow get Bond onto Iceland so we can see this project, but just don't have the fucking villain invite him. Like, that's just the stupidest thing you could do. Oh god, I agree. I can't believe that. And that's the thing, Graves, there is this line from Graves where he says, obviously he's revealed to be Colonel Moon, who, he's used the gene therapy tech to change his appearance, and, has amassed his fortune from blood diamonds as a cover. And, that's the thing. He says, what does he say? He says, Bond, I've stood face to face with him, and Bond has no idea who I am. Okay, he doesn't know maybe at this stage that you're Colonel Moon, who he thought he killed, 14 months ago in Korea. But he does know that you are doing something dodgy.
Yes.
He doesn't know who I am. Well, does that really matter? Because he's there to stop your evil plan. So who the fuck cares? I don't know as well why he reveals to Zhao, or to the audience while talking to Zhao, that he is that Graves has in fact, or was originally Colonel Moon.
Yeah.
It's not a very dramatic moment to reveal it, is it?
No, yeah. He just like kind of casually mentions it, which is like really weird. Like, I don't know. They don't really, like, the thing is, I mean, that was, I guess, more of a twist than anything else. But yeah, they just kind of just plop it out there.
Yeah. Surely you'd have a dramatic reveal, but no, he's just like, oh yeah, he doesn't really even suspect who I am. He still thinks I died 14 months ago in Korea. Okay, well, cheers, pal. I don't think he says anything that's explicit, but he says my father still mourns my death.
Yeah.
I think Zhao says that. Unless the movie thinks we're so dumb not to put two and two together.
Yeah.
But, who could he be talking about? The only other character in this movie who's evil. Yeah. Again, so this is where the movie gets really dumb. Again, it's just a really dumb section of the movie. But anyway, so obviously Bond is in Iceland, and I think the villainous lair, I think it's something like out of Batman and Robin with Mr. Freeze.
Yes, yeah. I was thinking like the ice lair feels first of all like very kind of sci-fi, like really over the top. But yeah, also I agree, like Batman and Robin's a good comparison too.
Yeah. And we get another Austin Powers moment. Has Bond, explained to you his Big Bang Theory? That's what Miranda Frost says to Halle Berry, and Halle Berry says, "Yes, I seem to have the thrust of it."
Yes.
So bad, but anyway, great. It's
classic.
They've cut all that out of the modern Bond movies. I think there may be some smarter double entendre, but nothing that explicit.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Graves, he's called this project Icarus, which is a good sign.
Flying too close to the sun. Yeah.
After that classic Eternals character.
Oh yeah, that's a good point as well. Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but obviously, like flying too close to the sun. What do you think? Like, oh wow, it blows up in his face and kills him. Wow.
Yeah, like he really should have named it something else.
Yeah. A new orbital mirror satellite, which is able to focus solar energy on a small area and provide year-round sunshine for agriculture.
Yeah.
Go on.
I want to talk about how, like, on the surface level, pointless this thing is, because I couldn't get over it. Like, I was thinking to myself, like, who needs more sunlight? And then the thing is, I was thinking about it for a second, I was like, the places which are like, because he like presents it as something which is going to like save the world, but the places which are like food deprived don't have a lack of sun.
Exactly.
And like, so basically, like I was thinking to myself, like I was thinking, what would be the use of this? And I was like, well, okay, I guess like during the winter, obviously in the UK, the sun goes down at 4. So maybe if you had this Icarus thing, you could keep the sun reflecting, so we could have sunlight until like, later into the evening. And I
That
thought
would
to
be
myself,
nice,
yeah, like that would be
but-
nice, but it's not saving the world because, of course,
Yeah.
the UK doesn't have a problem with like food security or anything like that.
Yeah, if you want to like get more crops, what you need to do is make sure that the areas which are basically the issue is that there are so many areas in poor countries where it's just too warm for crops. Like crops just die because of drought.
Yeah. I mean, that only happens in poor countries. Also, like they could have been a rain thing, like that would have. Because obviously, like seeding the clouds or something, or maybe like a something that takes ice from comets. How about that, and sends it down to Earth?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
really dumb.
That's really dumb. This is also really dumb. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but that's the thing. Of course, he doesn't really like. Who the fuck cares? He says he's saving the world. Of course, it's being used as a weapon. What a surprise! I don't know why creating a second sun in the sky would be good. Like,
yeah.
Again,
like I think it's just a case of like everybody just cheered because it sounds impressive, and yet there's no actual.
But again, if you're in the media, like there should be red flags everywhere. Like, what the fuck? This sounds complete. And to be fair, I'm thinking of like the Mohammed bin Salman with his Lion City. Remember that? Or do you know about that?
I don't think I know.
He's building a city in the Saudi Arabian desert, which is literally a line.
Oh, okay, yeah. I feel like maybe I'd seen like one of those weird kind of like YouTube videos about that. But yeah, I don't know why. I thought about it, and you're like this. It's a reference to this show you might have heard of. In Arrested Development, where they have like the like charity dinner for, I think, is it for like TBA? Because like they haven't decided what the cause they're going to be doing it for is. So what I'm thinking is like basically it's that kind of thing where like because it's all a bunch of kind of rich elitists, they come up with like a plan to like save the world before they even thought about how it would actually achieve their goals.
Now I'm thinking like the media doesn't really like mock rich people for having stupid ideas. I mean, Elon Musk, for instance, like he gets away with everything. People still think he's really smart, and so I can imagine like, oh yeah, we've got a second son. It's called Icarus. Yeah, people.
Yeah,
people
like that would have been a good
that.
kind of way to go down, like the path of like people being stupid, like rich people being stupid.
Yeah, but if people in the media, I think would just lap that shit up. Like, oh yeah, Gustav Graves is incredible. Yeah, so I can understand why. I guess, he can get away with this idea, but again, it's a stupid idea which doesn't make sense. And just the technology in general, this Icarus thing, it's laughable. Again, it is it's so stupid, it's so far away from the Jason Bourne stuff as well. I keep mentioning that, but of course, we need a direct comparison, and that is what I'm going to be more specific here with that comparison because this is from Wikipedia. Despite favour from fans who prefer Bond's more camp films. Die Another Day is considered by many to be the worst entry in the James Bond canon. I think I did say before that this movie killed James Bond, and of course Casino Royale resurrected it. Of course, it didn't kill it because it still made a ton at the box office, but there was an admission that this is quite bad. Things need to change, and compares unfavourably to the Bourne Identity, released months earlier, which ushered in a new era of violent, gritty action espionage movies and gave rise to the stripped-down, no-nonsense Bond of Daniel Craig. That is definitely the case. This movie is not stripped down, no nonsense. This movie there's a lot of shit going on and there's a lot of nonsense going on.
Yeah, the only kind of stripping down would be an innuendo about getting women naked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when fucking Rosamund Pike does it.
Yeah.
And obviously, what does the Wikipedia article also say about Jason Bourne? We just said. A new era of violent, gritty action espionage. This movie, of course, is not gritty. I would not describe it as that.
Yeah, he does kill a lot of people. Like, I think I remember seeing something which basically revealed that Pierce Brosnan kills the most people of any James Bond. And that kind of doesn't surprise me, because I feel like in the kind of 90s and early 2000s, it was that era of just, like, over-the-top action, where, like, you just see so many people get mowed down. But, of course, the thing is, while it's a lot of death and a lot of action, like, it's almost like the fact that it's not gritty is why he racks up such a massive body count.
Yes.
Because it's like Daniel Craig would like fucking just really draw out killing someone, so it'd be like one person dead, but you really feel it. Meanwhile, like Pierce Brosnan. Realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kills a whole bunch of people, and it's like, just like, oh, did some people die? Oh, 10? Okay, wow.
Yeah. That's the thing. It would be gritty and realistic when Daniel Craig does it, and when he kills someone, it's like, wow, that was really tough to kill. That shows how difficult it is to defeat the villains. Well, for Bond, it's just like, oh yeah, these are two stupid henchmen. Let me just fire, like some gas at them, and they're gonna die, and I'll come up behind them and like knock them out with a single punch.
Judo chop.
Judo chop them, and there we go. And it just everyone who he kills is just a stupid henchman, basically.
Yeah.
But again. So let's continue with this Wikipedia article. It often occupies a low rank on Bond-related lists. A 2021 Yahoo survey consisting of 2,200 experts and superfans, ranked Die Another Day as the third worst after Quantum of Solace and Spectre.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's just recency bias.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's got to be the case. Yeah, and again, we talked before about, this is the 40th anniversary of Bond. This is the 20th Bond movie. They wanted to reference in all the other Bond movies. They went classic Bond, the producers of this movie. That's what they wanted, a classic Bond. At a time when they needed to do the opposite. Austin Powers was mocking them, all this campy shit, they were mocking that, and you also had Jason Bourne in the background showing, that there's a new era of, again, good spy thrillers, which is a lot better than these movies, and they look bad by comparison. Well, they went too far with this one. They may have gone too far
in a few places, yes.
There we go, yes. And the reboots, as we can all see, was definitely needed. And Casino Royale, of course, blew everything out of the water. So Rosamund Pike, now Michael, her character, obviously she is playing a character called Miranda Frost, and who could suspect that a character whose last name is Frost sides with the Ice Guy?
Yeah,
wow.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So she betrays Bond.
Talk about your cold shoulder.
Yeah. She betrays Bond, and wow, what a twist. Who could have seen that coming, eh? Oh, I think everyone very easily.
I like how, when it's revealed, the guy's like, you didn't find out which agent is the one who betrayed you. And it's almost like the way he's saying it's just like, you fucking idiot. Didn't you realize that was one of the main conflicts set up? Did you not think maybe she would be the one responsible?
Yeah, and he says, I'll find them eventually. It's like, mate, we've only got 30 minutes of the movie left, It's probably going to be the girls, standing next to us, come on. But I do like that she's a North Korean asset, because this is a great backstory, a very inventive backstory. Again, maybe this is a Bond reference, I don't know. But she was an Olympic athlete, and of course she got silver in the Olympic Games in Sydney. And so the North Koreans then injected the girl who won the fencing gold medal with steroids. She OD'd on steroids, I think that's what they said.
Yeah.
She was cheating and she died. And so, then she'd become this North Korean asset. Wow, what a great backstory, No,
that is a good way to, get there.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Obviously, she sleeps with Bond. This is so dumb as well, this thing. All right, so she sleeps with Bond, and of course it's set up that she doesn't like Bond, right? So you're wondering, why did she sleep with him in this scene? So she can take bullets out of James Bond's gun.
Yes.
Which is very dumb. What if he fires the gun before he meets her? And then, why does my gun not have any bullets? It must have been removed by her. Why did this girl, remove bullets from my gun? Maybe she's the double agent who's been setting me up, who's, of course, Graves' right-hand woman. It's just a stupid thing to do. Why doesn't she just kill him or capture him?
Yes.
While she is in his room. Just fucking take the gun and just shoot him. Just do that. There's no need to, just try and be clever with... Again, it's so stupid. These writers really were having an off day when they were writing this.
Yeah. The thing is, I do kind of wonder, it would be interesting to, get every James Bond film compared in terms of the number of times that obviously James Bond could just be killed, and it would make so much sense to just kill him.
Well, there's another moment earlier on in the movie, Michael, which again is so perplexing. Why would Miranda Frost save James Bond from the guards who were looking for him?
That's a good point, actually.
And she pulls him aside and she kisses him, so the guards don't think it's him who has, has been stooping around the facility. Why? Why wouldn't you just let him get captured?
Yeah, there's no explanation for that. That's actually, I didn't think about that, and that's a really good point.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's so dumb. Again, these writers, man, they really were slacking with this movie in so many aspects. The plot progression is just very, very, very lazy. Anyway, so Bond gets away. Okay, of course he does.
Yes.
And the awful CGI, Michael, is shown as he tries to surf the ice tsunami.
That is the best bit.
It is so fake and so obvious. I can't believe they released that. I know it's 20 years earlier, but even modern Marvel movies have better CGI than that.
That's funny.
Yeah, but it's so bad. Tell me you were laughing when you saw the Bond surfing the ice.
Well, see, part of it actually is that I already knew about that scene because I saw it. One time I watched a Watch Mojo video, as I've been known to do at some points in my life, and there was... The video was called Top 10 Worst James Bond Moments, and I still remember the lady, the Watch Mojo lady, was like basically saying like this campy action was so far away from what audience could tolerate, and it made them put the whole series on ice.
Very clever.
Which is, very. But yeah, so the thing is, because I already like was aware of that scene as like a very dumb scene when it happened, I was kind of just like, okay, yeah, this is the scene. So I didn't have a kind of strong reaction to it when I saw it, but obviously, yes, I can understand that if somebody just kind of like is watching the film and then just sees that happen, they're just like, wow, this is crazy.
I've got a good quote from James Berardinelli of Real Views. This is from Wikipedia. He says, Die Another Day is an exercise in loud explosions and excruciatingly bad special effects. Yes, those special effects were awful, even for 2002. The CGI work in this movie is an order of magnitude worse than anything I have seen in a major motion picture.
Yeah.
Wow. Coupled with lousy production design, again, that's with the production design. The movie looks like it's fucking out of Batman and Robin. Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
His eyes thing. Yeah. Die Another Day looks like it was done on the cheap, which is incredible because it costs so much money. But I do agree.
That's the thing. Yeah, like the film does seem cheap.
Yeah, I don't get how you can spend that much money, $140 million, but it looks so cheap and the CGI be so bad. Yeah, again, another reason why this movie was a failure. But yeah, another frustrating thing again is the villain, of course, thinks James Bond is dead, and the villains again could just shoot Halle Berry instead of trapping her in her room, but decide not to. Again, it's a stupid cliche.
Yeah, it reminds me of Phantom Menace. They should be dead now. Destroy what's left of them.
Just kill. I know. I don't know why the writers keep putting James Bond in these positions where it's like it's obvious that it's so easy to kill him.
Yeah, they could just have him not be captured in the first place.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, we go back to Korea now, Michael. And Graves, obviously, James Bond rescues Halle Berry and all that. So we're back to Korea, and Graves reveals his identity to his father and the true purpose of the Icarus satellite: to cut a path through the Korean demilitarized zone with concentrated sunlight, allowing North Korean troops to invade South Korea and unite the peninsula. Horrified General Moon rejects the plan, but Graves murders him. And, of course, a very cliche, this giant death laser is actually a giant death laser, which is used as a weapon. Wow. Also, Michael, North Korea, one of the axis of evil, of course.
Yes.
At the time this movie came out, along with Iraq and Iran. Graves, when he was Korean, mocked the idea of British people, policing the world. He didn't like that. He said the West should stop interfering in Korean matters. And this is why, Michael, we need a rules-based liberal international order. Otherwise, crazy things will happen. Like, the North Koreans building a massive laser and trying to invade South Korea. James Bond is needed. But look, this is what it's called soft propaganda.
Yeah.
Soft propaganda against the North Koreans. Because, I know the general is against it. He doesn't want this war. But again, the great thing about this conflict between North Korea and South Korea is you could have picked either side, really.
Yeah.
Why did they pick the North Koreans to be the bad guys?
Because they're our enemies.
Exactly. And not the South Koreans. Because the South Koreans, I imagine that you can have a radical faction in the military who also want to, unite the Korean Peninsula. Of course, both sides want to unite the Korean Peninsula, just they want to be the ones in charge. But you could have easily you can have a South Korean, military guy be like, oh yeah, I want to unite this Korean peninsula, so we're going to attack North Korea. And actually, if he was doing that, maybe the United States would be in favor of that. So
then you have so what if we have to carve through an entire peninsula?
Yeah. So maybe the writers understood it wouldn't be realistic. Look, they don't go full on. Our North Koreans are all evil, but there is certainly a lot of that in this movie. And again, this movie would have worked as well. From if the South Koreans were the bad guys. Yeah,
it would have made it more interesting.
I think it would have made it more interesting, Michael. I think it would have made it more interesting as well. But yeah, of course, they didn't go down that path. And they never, as well, there's this demilitarized zone with a ton of landmines. This movie never mentions why there are so many landmines in North Korea. Why are there so many landmines in North Korea and indeed South Korea in this demilitarized zone, Michael? Why is that the case?
I think it might be because of the Americans leaving them all there.
Oh, yeah, the Americans who fucking bombed North Korea. Like, obviously there's a lot of talk about, like, Cambodia and Vietnam. North Korea just got absolutely blown to pieces in the
Yeah.
Korean War. Like
Yeah.
it was, I think pretty much every village, literally every village in North Korea, like had a bomb sent its way.
Yeah, well, there's a documentary about like North Korea where there's one part of North Korea that has like pre-Korean War houses, and it's because it was in the south for basically the whole war. So it's like the one part of like that was kind of in the south, and then North Korea kind of, I guess, got it right towards the end of the war, so the Americans didn't have time to bomb it, and it's like the only part of North Korea that kind of looks traditional and kind of antiquated.
Again, they fucked that country up so badly, so badly. And again, it's like, oh, why is the South so much richer than the North? Well, again, you might have to look at the Americans for that. Just bombing the fuck out of them, and obviously there's a lot of land which then cannot be used for farming and so on and so forth. And obviously that is not mentioned either. But anyway, so Bond saves the day. Michael, Bond saves the day, and the plane passes through the Icarus beam and is damaged. Jinx kills Frost. Nice girl on girl fight. Michael, did you like that?
I did. I didn't think like the way, like I thought, because there was a scene where like the rack of
Halle Berry.
No, sorry, like the rack of swords. There we go. The kind of sword rack was like moving around, like in the turbulence of the plane, and I was thinking there would be a scene where like the sword rack would kind of roll into the bad lady and like kind of just slice her up, but it didn't happen. I was really disappointed.
That would have been really funny. Anyway, Graves attempts to escape by parachute, but Bond opens the parachute, pulling Graves out of the plane and into one of its engines. Again, I think if you wanted to make the Icarus thing better, you could have him like trying something, like, and not realizing it wouldn't work. I don't know. I would, something to do with the flew too close to the sun analogy thing. But anyway, so Bond and Jinx escape. Oh yeah, it says So Graves flies into the plane, disabling the Icarus beam. So he was controlling. So Bond and Jinx escape from the disintegrating plane in a helicopter. And with Graves' stash of diamonds, and they spend a romantic evening at a Buddhist temple.
Oh, with diamonds. That's so.
With diamonds.
That's Buddha would really love that.
Yeah, he'd be all over that. Yeah, but they introduced that electric thing that Graves has that he wears. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it would kill people, but it just like stuns them, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, a very predictable ending. Bond saves the world. You get what you paid for. It's a James Bond movie. But anyway, Michael, let's conclude. You go first.
Yeah, okay. So this film, it's very dumb. It's not terrible, I guess, in terms of like, if you're sat down to watch a James Bond film, it's not the worst thing in the world if it's this film, because a lot of the other James Bond films, I think, are honestly a bit more boring, a bit more confusing, and not actually that much better in terms of quality to make up for it. Like, it's not as if all the other James Bond films kind of pre-Daniel Craig are like these nuanced character studies or anything like that. They've still got a lot of the bad stuff, but they're just more boring. So that kind of is something in favor of this film. Obviously, there are issues. It does look cheap. But again, I mean, you could argue like, special effects on everything. There are some examples of bad writing that's kind of typical. For me, I'm actually going to give it a 5. So technically not a bad rating.
Yeah, it's technically not a bad rating. I am going to be harsher, Michael. I think I have to be harsher. Yeah, 3.5 for Die Another Day. Yeah, this is quite a bad movie. And look, I'm just going to read from the Wikipedia page on this when it talks about the critical reception. So, it was criticised because of its reliance on CGI. I mean, I'm not so sure reliance, just bad CGI. I guess we're used to a ton of CGI movies nowadays, as this was just very bad. Product placement, which is interesting. Again, there was some product placement. Does the Aston Martin count as product placement? I don't know.
Yeah, well, I thought every James Bond film had Aston Martins in it.
Exactly. Yeah. And its unoriginal plot, yes. So yes, again, like I said, it really does write itself, and as well as the villain. Yeah, I get the villain is weird. I guess we didn't really talk about it because it's like two separate people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of hard to know how good the villain is when it's like the villain is split in two. But yeah, I wouldn't say it's a good villain at all because you can't really like which is the actual villain, the guy at the beginning or fucking Graves. I guess Graves is in it more, but it's not actually him. It's the Korean guy. That's his personality. But anyway, so yeah, yeah, just a really bad. It's so dumb. This movie has so many dumb elements to it. It's so over the top as well. It's so clear that this movie required or this franchise required a reboot, and that's thankfully what we got with the Casino Royale. But yeah, this movie went too far in what it did in the movie, and it was one step too far in terms of movies which were in the classic James Bond mold. And yeah, this didn't need to happen. This movie didn't need to exist. It didn't need to happen. It should have died yesterday, not died another day. Died before it was even, put into production. But yeah, thankfully they made amends with the next movie, Casino Royale. And what are we doing next week, Michael?
Next week we are doing the original Spider-Man, or the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yes,
which,
the first.
Of course, also released in 2002.
Yes, also released in 2002. So join us for that. Who have you been, Michael?
I've been Michael.
I've been Luke. Thanks for listening, and join us next week for Spider-Man. Goodbye.
Goodbye.